r/AskReddit. What is something perfectly legal that feels illegal? Blocking all trade to and from the Naboo system. My lord. Is that legal? Paying lots of money to get a politician to do what you want them to do. Bribes are illegal. Donations aren't. Walking naked from the bathroom to the kitchen to the bedroom and the buying alcohol for the first few months after turning 21. Using the vertical ID doesn't help. Where I live, it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 21. If you have the vertical ID, you can't buy cigs or booze. Finishing the ice cream. In Oregon, I can take a left turn from a two-way street onto a one-way street against a red light. Taking money from a take a penny leave a penny tray. It's there for a purpose. But it would feel like I'm taking money that belongs to someone else if I did so. Nah, nobody cares. I take a coin to scratch lotto tickets all the time. I figure the $1 I pay for my $0.95 has me covered anyways, since I don't wait around to get the nickel back. And we know everyone hates Nickelback. The cops can lie to you. Riding the elevator facing backwards. Elevators with front and back doors. The door behind you opens and someone gets on. Do we both turn around, or what the duck do we do? Rotate 90 degrees so that an opening surface is behind you. Ariana Grande. Gerrymandering. When you get a craving for cake in the middle of the night and try to open that damned plastic container and suddenly the whole damn neighborhood is awake and knows your shame. This is me making instant noodle in the middle of the night. At the end, me and family eating instant noodles together, but I have to cook for them. It's really annoying microwaves don't have a stealth mode where you can turn them on with no beeping. Owning a flamethrower is legal in 48 states. California and Maryland require licensing. Owning a grenade launcher is legal if you pay $200 to get a permit. Plus $200 permit for each shell that qualifies as a destructive device. Doesn't apply to smoke or flares or stuff like that. Taking your first newborn home from the hospital with no prior training or experience. This was so weird. Like, they're just gonna let us walk out to here with an infant? Yeah. Man, it's cool. Just act calm and pretend it's ours. On Halloween, when those people leave a bowl out that says take one, so you dump all the candy out and take the bowl. Because it's a nice ceramic bowl. I meant take more than one packet of Swedish fish. So you're the scumbag who stole my mom's popcorn bowl. Shower ears. Get yourself a stein with a flippy lid. Game changer. Backquote, I have read and agree to the above backquote. Hoarding Taco Bell sauce packets to have with your boiled eggs at home. In a surprising amount of US states, you can have relations with someone aged 16. I always thought it was 18. I believe there's also what's called a Romeo and Juliet clause where in high school a guy or girl over the legal age can date someone under it if they're within 3 years of age. Or also something to do with pre-existing relationships before one of them gets older than the legal age. At least in Texas there is. The only reason I know about this law is because that one King Transformers movie thought it was more important to explain the underage relationship than you explain where the hell the robot dinosaurs came from. FCK Mitchell Bay. Working in advertising. I find how much info I can collect on a specific individual is super creepy. As a general note, just don't sign up for newsletters. The stuff you unknowingly give companies on yourself is scary. Feels so creepy. Just your email and full name is enough for people to know your whole life if they put that stuff into FB or other networks. What kind of information? Besides what we actually post ourselves. Mainly stuff you do outside of Facebook is a huge one. Any site that has a Facebook pixel code on it is essentially tracking you and tying it to your account when they can. The phone is another one I'm not 100% familiar with. I know they can track what you do on your phone, but I can't say I'm certain. That's where my knowledge on this ends. I mean, it also generally depends on if you've taken the steps to not allow them to do this. I believe there's ways to not let them track you now that weren't there before. So that's a plus at least. Ordering weed of a government website and smoking it in Canada. It's illegal to buy from a guy on the corner, but okay from the government. And growing weed in your backyard. Absolutely nuts. Well, given the government can't tax the guy on the corner. Collecting dead rats in the tunnels of the local sewage system and tying their tails together into a wreath. Sometimes this procedure brings them back to life, creating a cursed superorganism. I know there are no explicit laws against it, but I feel like God frowns upon it. Carrot W-A-T. You heard TH. E-man. Eating popcorn with sushi at 4 AM. Are you okay? No. Showering in your socks. No. That's definitely illegal. This is what capital punishment is for. As a pet sitter for pets in my complex, even though people give me their key to get into their house, it still feels really weird entering someone's house. Especially when I don't know them all that well. Quick tangent, one time, while leaving the person's house and locking the door behind me, a neighbor approached me at the end of the driveway and started talking to me. They were trying to be subtle, but it was clearly obvious that they thought I'd stolen something. Even after I showed them the key that the owners had given me and reassuring them that I was only there to feed the cat, I could still feel them watching me as I walked back to my place. Edit. OLRFine awesome. Okay. I posted this yesterday and you brought my point count from 938 to over 5,000 overnight. Thanks. It's good they're looking out for their neighbors. It might also be good, if you're comfortable with it, to either introduce yourself to neighbors or have the complex somehow share what you do. Edit. Removed my r/adword speech edits. Thank you Jimmy the Squid. That was a useless, impulsive edit. Well, I'm not the most social person, so that exchange was already awkward enough. But even after I provided evidence that I wasn't breaking in, this neighbor still wasn't convinced that I didn't steal anything. I did sorta know this woman. However, through the book club that my mom's in, she's especially nosy and tries to paint herself as the complex hero. If you get my drift, she's constantly getting in everyone else's business. I guess she thought, oh, a teenager entering someone's house, they must be stealing. Something tells me she hates teens. Leaving a store without having bought anything. Even worse. At places like Target, where they have locked electronics that you pay for in the department section. So then when you go to check out with everything else, you have a bag of things already paid for and a basket of things you're still going to buy. Pro tip, get the rest of your shopping done first, then hit up that electronics section and they can ring the rest up for you. Edit. This should have been obvious that it should be a small number of items for courtesy. But apparently people suck, so that should be explicitly stated. Now you don't have to awkwardly check out with already paid items, you just have to awkwardly walk past the checkouts and out the door. The library. The fact that you can just hang out there for hours, use the computers, and then leave with a huge stack of books and movies without paying a cent is very surreal for 2019. Leaving your house in sweet pants with no intention of working out. Speak for yourself. Duke fansipants. Selling subprime mortgages to people who absolutely cannot afford them, and back-end bundling them as investment funds to resell to investors, betting they will fail, and taking out insurance against that failure with the purpose of getting rich off the insurance, while all the investors in those funds go broke. The housing economy bursts, and the entire global economy suffers. It happened. We bailed out the banks. America lost its shirt, and not one move has been made to make this fully unethical practice illegal. Also lying about your income to qualify for said mortgages. The entire YouTube ad/copyright/monetization system and companies blatantly stealing money from people. Although I guess nobody else agrees, because everyone still uses YouTube and supports companies that act like this. If we want to convince Google to stop, I think we'd need to boycott YouTube. But nobody seems to give a hit, and they still make millions. I mean, our only other way to watch videos is through something like Vimeo. But let's be honest, who the hell wants to use Vimeo? Cereal with water. Get out. No. That's eating your cereal dry with a glass of milk. Swearing in front of an officer. In a rare situation it can benefit you. Beyond that it's likely to do more harm to you than good. A friend of mine who has successfully gotten warnings but no tickets coached me to say the following phrase genuinely and remorsefully. "Hi officer. I must have been driving like an asshole." Then tactfully navigate the conversation from there. Don't lie. Don't make up excuses. Do understand that you're dealing with another human being. The phrase "I apologize for having put you in this position" is really good if applicable. Turning left at a red light from a one-way street to another one-way street. Edit, for those asking or confused. I live in Ontario, Canada. I got pulled over for this once. The cop was polite enough to let me Google it on my phone. I showed him the results. He shrugged and said, "You learn something new every day." Then walked back to his car. Strangest exchange I've ever had with a cop. I don't write the laws. I just enforce what I think are laws. Tanner right. That's fun stuff. Boom. Ducking like and subscribe.